Hi there, join me in this video as I unbox the quick TS2300D solder station, show you what it looks like, show you the solder tips I bought, and do a simple demonstration. I did not get paid by the Quick company for doing this video. The company did not give me the solder station for free. I paid the advertised price for the solder station. Then I bought 10 additional solder tips and got a discount by paying for the price of 5 tips instead of 10 tips. This is the Quick TS2300D solder station. I am in Australia, so I ordered the model which takes input voltage of 240 volts AC. Power is rated to 150 watts maximum. The date of manufacture of the product I received is the 14th of March 2026. Let's unbox this. There is a user manual document. From the specifications, it uses a LCD display. Power consumption is 150 watts. The model I have has input voltage of 240 volts AC. Operating temperature range is 100 degrees Celsius to 480 degrees Celsius or 212 degrees Fahrenheit to 896 degrees Fahrenheit. Temperature stability is plus or minus 2 degrees Celsius with no load. Ambient temperature 40 degrees. The tip to ground resistance is less than 2 ohms. The tip to ground potential is less than 2 millivolts. The main solder station, the soldering pencil holder. And here I have a packet of 10 of the series 500 soldering tips that suit this particular solder station. The holder for the soldering pencil. My AC power cable. This packet has 2 items. There's a banana plug earthing cable, and this is a safety pad to hold the hot soldering tip in order to be able to change out the soldering tip. This is the soldering pencil. Here are the items all laid out, still in their packaging. Here are the items unpackaged. 4 dimensions from the front face to the rear of these plastic fins. Depth is 169 millimeters. The width is 137 millimeters. For the height, I'm going to put a ruler on top of this. And for the height, I measure 113 millimeters. In the specifications, it says it's 116 millimeters. My measurement is different by 3 millimeters. For the weight, the main unit is 1.29 kilograms. The soldering pencil holder, the weight is 460 grams. The soldering pencil, the weight is 138 grams. The grounding cable and crocodile clips weigh 17 grams. The safety pad weighs 28 grams. The AC power cable weighs 190 grams. So when I add together the weights of all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items, the total weight is 2.123 kilograms, and there is the weight stated in the specifications, about 2.1 kilograms. These are the 10 soldering tips I bought. They're not the soldering tips that come standard with the product. I specifically wanted these model tips. They're all the Quick brand tips. This is model 500-B. This is model 500-2C. Model 500-3C, Model 500-3.5D. Model 500-4C, Model 500-5C, Model 500-5D, Model 500-8D, Model 500-K, Model 500-SK. I've laid out the 10 tips here so you can have a better view. The front face of the main unit, LCD screen with capacitive touch control, 7-pin socket to connect to the 7-pin plug on the soldering pencil. To fit the plug correctly, at the 12 o'clock position, there is a groove on the plug. There is a rib protrusion. This rib needs to be aligned to the slot at the 12 o'clock position and pushed in. At the rear, the label stating TS2300D, lead-free soldering station, input AC 240 volts, 150 watts maximum, 50 or 60 Hz. There's a serial number here that I've blocked out. AC 3-pin input socket. This is a earthing socket that allows the banana plug on the earthing cable to be plugged in. And the other end of the banana plug can be inserted to the target device, or it can be fitted with an alligator clip and clipped to the target device. I also have the Quick 861 Pro hot air station, and on the rear of that hot air station there is also plastic fins, but they are plastic. They make it look like a heat sink, but it is not metal. Similarly, this also looks like a plastic fins to me, so I don't think they are heat sinks. This is what the bottom of the main unit looks like. This model soldering pencil is the TSS31B. Inside there is a heating sensor, model S1205A. The heater model used is H1205. To remove the soldering tip, this is a plastic nulled nut. Turn it anti-clockwise. And I remove this. Use the safety pad. Grip the hot mounting assembly. Put it away safely. Grip the hot tip with the safety pad. Put it away safely. And there is the tip of the heating element. Get a replacement tip. Attach it to the soldering pencil. By the way, there is a spring-loaded action. Use the safety pad. Hold the tip mounting assembly. Get the nut. And screw the nut back on. Being careful not to touch the hot assembly. And the tip is restored. The pencil holder body is all metal except for this front face, and there's this metal space for the sponge. Sponge goes in there. Wet the sponge before use, and this brass coil is to clean the solder tip. After a lot of use and the brass cleaning coil is dirty and damaged and needs to be replaced, the way to do it is this. It cannot be removed from the front. Go to the rear, turn this screw anti-clockwise to release, and the bottom plate can be removed. The bottom plate has a slot in it. That slot allows this metal tongue to be inserted in order to retain the bottom tray. With that bottom tray removed, this is easily accessible to be removed and changed. Nothing else needs to be dismantled. To replace it, insert this tongue into the slot. And return the screw. That's it. I've connected to AC power. To turn it on, turn the hard switch on at the rear and it will power up. I can turn off the power by touching the soft power switch for 2 seconds. Off. Now I can turn on the power again with the soft power switch by touching it for 2 seconds. There. Back on. There are 3 channels or 3 presets on this solder station. If I touch the number 1, it says channel 1. If I touch number 2, it says channel 2 selected. And the temperature is increasing to preset of 320 degrees Celsius. This symbol here will turn red when the heating element is applying heat. This symbol here is either a straight line or a 2-step graph. The straight line applies to channel 1 and channel 2. It means that one fixed temperature is operating. There is a thermometer symbol, meaning that it is in operating mode. There is a temperature unit symbol. It is presently set to degrees Celsius. This is an equal sign. It means that the soldering pencil has achieved the target temperature, in this case 320 degrees. Alternatively, it could show 2 up arrows to indicate it is in a heating state, or it could show 2 down arrows to show it is in a cooling state. This is a password lock. In this case, it shows that the lock is unshackled, meaning there's no password. So the temperature of the solder pencil is presently 320 degrees Celsius. Channel 1 has a preset of 200 degrees Celsius. If I press channel 1, this symbol will show 2 down arrows indicating it is in cooling state. There are the 2 down arrows in red, and the temperature is dropping. It is still cooling and the temperature is still dropping. There is now an equal sign indicating the target temperature of 200 degrees Celsius has been achieved. If I press to select channel 2, this symbol should change to 2 arrow keys pointing upwards, indicating it is heating up the soldering pencil to achieve 320 degrees Celsius. And there is a red sun symbol indicating it is heating. And the 2 up arrows very quickly change to an equal sign to indicate target temperature is achieved. I will now demonstrate the use of the channel 3 setting. The solder station is presently set to channel 1. Since channel 1 is presently 200 degrees Celsius and channel 3 has 2 temperature settings. Temperature 1, the first temperature is 260 degrees Celsius. When I touch the number 3, there will be a beeping sound to indicate it is heating up or cooling down. In this case, it will heat up to 260 degrees. Touch the number 3. There are 2 up arrows and there's now an equal sign to indicate it is at 260 degrees Celsius. There is a 2-step graph which indicates that this setting allows 2 temperatures, temperature 1 and temperature 2. If I press and hold the number 3, it goes to the settings page for channel 3. The row for time is blue in color. And if I want to increase or decrease the time duration, I press the plus or I press the minus. I will keep it to 10 seconds. Press the forward key to go to the next data field, temperature 1. It is set to 260 degrees Celsius. The same thing, I can increase it or decrease it. I'll keep it at 260 degrees. Forward key, temperature 2 is set to 380 degrees. So the mode of operation for channel 3 is like this. When the soldering pencil is resting in the holder, it will be preheated and held constant to temperature 1, which in this case is 260 degrees Celsius. Then what happens is, as soon as my fingers grip this sleeve and pull the soldering pencil away from the holder, it will start the countdown of 10 seconds and hold the temperature to temperature 1, which is in this case 260 degrees Celsius. At the end of that time duration, it will change to temperature 2, which in this case is 380 degrees Celsius. And if my fingers keep holding the soldering pencil at this sleeve and not return the soldering pencil back to the holder, the solder station will hold the temperature to temperature 2. As soon as I return the solder pencil to the rest position, the solder station knows I have finished operation of channel 3 and will return the temperature down to temperature 1. And if I pick the solder pencil up again, channel 3 operation will restart. So I'll use this stopwatch to show you the countdown timer. From the channel 3 settings mode, I go back to operational use mode. Go back by pressing digit 3. You see that digit display change from the number 1 to the number 2, and the temperature is increasing. The temperature has now increased to 380 degrees Celsius. And it's holding that temperature 2. I'll stop the timer, return the solder pencil back to the rest. And the solder station knows channel 3 operation has stopped. The 2 red down arrows shows it is cooling the solder pencil. It will cool it down to temperature 1, which is 260 degrees Celsius. It is now 260 degrees Celsius, which is temperature 1. I will demonstrate again operation of channel 3. The fingers must grip this sleeve. Withdraw from the holder, the timer starts. The number here has changed from digit 1 to digit 2, showing it is now progressing to temperature 2 setting. And temperature 2 is 380 degrees Celsius. It is holding temperature 2 continuously as long as I have my fingers on this part of the sleeve. Return it to the rest holder. It is now beeping. There are 2 red down arrows and the temperature is decreasing and will decrease to 260 degrees Celsius, which is temperature 1. The beeping has stopped. There's an equal sign and the temperature is now 260 degrees Celsius, which is temperature 1. A mistake I made earlier in testing it was not to hold at this lower part of the sleeve, but to hold the solder pencil at the higher part. And so channel 3 did not work. The reason is the sensor is built into this portion of the pencil. There is no sensor here. So what happened was that when I held this out away from the holder, nothing happened. I was wondering why nothing was happening. There was no beep. There was no countdown of 10 seconds. As you can see, there was no progression to channel 3. The reason is the sensor is here and not here. So do not make the same mistake I did of holding it here and expecting channel 3 to work. I have to hold it here. I sought clarification from the manufacturer, Quick Intelligent Equipment Company Limited, and they were very fast and very clear to explain to me that the sensor is located in this portion of the pencil and not here, and channel 3 works when my fingers grip the lower portion and the timer will start its countdown on temperature 1. Now I'll show you how we get to the menu settings. Press and hold digit 2 and 3 at the same time. Here we are. I can move down the menu selections with the forward key. This first menu item says channel 1 to 3 temperature. Press digit 2 to enter, and it shows that I can select and change the temperatures for channels 1 to 3. I press enter, and I can change preset temperature for channel 1, increase it or decrease it. Press 2 for store, press enter, forward, channel 3, press plus to increase, minus to decrease. And this looks like I'm setting the temperature 2 of channel 3, not temperature 1. Press 2 to store, press forward. I can select the temperature unit to be degrees Celsius or degree Fahrenheit. I'll keep it at degrees Celsius. Press forward. I can select whether I want the device to be able to go to sleep on or off. And at on, I can press enter and change the time duration before it goes to sleep. In this case, it's 10 minutes. I'll just keep that and go back. Press forward. This menu item says close, and it means shut down the device. Again, I can choose to have this on or off and the duration. Press forward. This is alarm temperature positive. This is the ability to set the alarm to trigger when the temperature is more than a certain amount. In this case, the preset temperature trigger is 20 degrees Celsius. And I can change this again. Press enter, and I can increase or decrease the temperature alarm setting. Press store, press forward, and this says alarm temperature minus. In this case, it is to set the alarm trigger for when the temperature is below by a certain amount. I will change this to 10 degrees. Press store, press forward. I can change the password, but I won't bother with password. I can do a electrostatic discharge test. I will keep it on off. Press forward, and I can have key tone on or off. I want it on. Press forward. I can choose language English. S Chinese, I assume that means simplified Chinese. Or T Chinese, I assume that means traditional Chinese, maybe more complicated Chinese. Press forward. Goes back to the first menu setting. Press back, and it goes back to operational mode. I'm not a professional. I'm an amateur DIY person, so I don't have a professional soldering rework setup, just a simple setup. So here is my quick TS2300D soldering station. This is my Vivo XF250A fume extractor. This is my Vivo LFS0206 helping hands. This is my Relife RL001G storage container. And here I have a very old Winfast TV tuner on this spot with the Captain heat shield tape all around. I demonstrated using my quick 861 Pro hot air gun to remove this integrated circuit chip. I've mounted this circuit board onto a vice clamp, which is part of my Vivo helping hands. I select channel 2, 320 degrees for a start. I have the Mechanic brand UV223 strong welding flux. Apply that flux to these 4 through-hole contacts. This circuit board is a waste item for me. I don't care that it gets damaged. Tin the soldering tip turn on my fume extractor. I will wear safety goggles. I have here the Relive T2 tweezers. I'll use this to extract the connector when it's ready to be removed. This is the Mechanic brand HXT100 solder wire. I'll add this to the contact. There we are, it's come off. There is still one pin left to desolder separately. Now to remove this component, add some flux. Add some solder. It's come off. Now I'll try and remove this component. I've put some flux to it. Now to try and reattach it. Excuse the clumsy way in which I have gone about things. As I said, I'm not an expert, not a professional, just a DIY person starting out on the component soldering. I think I will enjoy it, and I'm sure I'm gonna like this solder station. I've never had a solder station. I've always used those standalone soldering irons, and they're crude. They're really not for soldering on circuit boards. They're just meant for soldering wires. By the way, this is the Mechanic SM17 angled ceramic tweezers. I do hope you found this video interesting. Do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more and help the channel grow. Thank you so much.